Hello guys, this is Geneva Style here. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, make sure you do to see more Star Wars content in the future. This is a part 2 video following last week's analysis of Reylo in The Last Jedi. Make sure to watch that first if you haven't. I will link the video in the description box. The so-called Rey's mirror cave scene is not a forced bond, but it is quite significant for Rey's development and relationship with Kylo Ren. The scene follows immediately the third forced bond, the shirtless Kylo scene, and she's adventuring herself in a dark space. We have seen this place before when she was practicing with Luke, and she's always been attracted to it. The Last Jedi, along with The Empire Strikes Back, focus on the characters' personal journeys and self-discovery. Even though you have a sense that nothing has changed, so the characters have not improved their circumstances, Kylo Ren does not turn to the light, and Rey goes back to the Resistance, there is an exploration of someone's priorities and perception of reality. So the symbol of a cave comes from the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato. It considered the cave as a means to understand the difference between reality and fiction. It is a physical and metaphorical journey. In The Empire Strikes Back, Luke felt death and cold when he entered the cave. Rey feels a strong dark force calling her. When Luke fights Darth Vader, defeating him, he discovers his own image inside of Vader's helmet. Rey searches for her parents, and instead of seeing them, she sees only herself, her reflection. And even though Yoda advised Luke not to take his lightsaber, he takes it anyway with him due to his growing fear while entering the cave. Luke killing his other image represents a metaphorical death of a part of him, the part of him who does not want to fall to the dark side. In The Last Jedi, there is a series of Rey in line in front of the mirror, and that's just waiting and patience. She waited all her life to learn the truth that she's ready to hear it now. She tests the reflections by snapping her fingers a couple of times, and the echo of the snapping comes to an end. That was leading somewhere, as she explains. Her question addressed to the mirror reminds me of the Snow White tale. She asks, "Show me my parents." The other reflections repeat the same questions. Two figures, presumably her parents, are slowly approaching and they morph into one individual who touches her hand. The shape of the shadow does not resemble her at all. That shadow is Kylo Ren, or at least the silhouette is constructed to resemble Kylo Ren. That is a premonition of the future. However, as the shadow disappears, she is only left with her own reflection. The mirror will not show her anything else besides herself because she already knows the truth. The infamous hut scene features Rey discussing her vision with Kylo and expressing her current feelings of loneliness and sadness. It is important to point out that both the hut scene and the interrogation scene occur right in the middle of the two movies. The middle point represents a change of direction towards a specific goal, a revelation that will inevitably impact the entire story. She says, "I've never felt so alone," and he immediately responds, "You're not alone." She says, "Neither are you. It's not too late." Then she extends her hand as a proof of her own belief that it's never too late. He can be saved. She forgives him for his crimes and his anger, so she wants to form an alliance to save the galaxy together. Kylo accepts the gesture and decides to approach her hand very slowly. Their fingertips touch. The Force theme starts playing in the background, again signifying an important revelation. They see their future together. Moreover, it can be viewed as a spiritual union between two people. And yes, I mean marriage. You visibly can see how they're shaken up. She's crying and they're both shivering. Then Luke interrupts the Force bond by destroying the hut. In one of the deleted scenes, he denounces Rey's foolishness to dive into the dark side for a pair of pretty eyes, referring to Kylo Ren. Even though it was not included in the movie, it explains what Luke is thinking. He knows what is going on between them. It's more than just two Force users sharing knowledge about the Force or wanting to join forces. There is a strong bond between them that might jeopardize the current political scheming and dynamics. Whatever she has seen then made her hopeful about his future. Kylo Ren is their only hope, not Luke. This particular moment has been underestimated and many people failed to notice its importance. Rey literally ships herself off to Kylo, holding the lightsaber and positioned like Snow White in her casket. Kylo Ren is looming over her. He is not threatening though, but he does look like a dark shadow staring at her. She firstly smiles, but then by the way he looks at her, she realizes the possibility of having made a huge mistake. In the novelization, he smiles a bit, but I believe that was avoided in the movie to give the impression of a blank canvas. It's very hard to read what he's really thinking right now. This brief interaction contributed in creating a shock value during the throne room scene. The elevator scene is possibly the most praised and hyped scene after the hut scene. I must say it is for the right reasons. Kylo and Rey have never been side by side, this close, except when they were fighting against each other in the forest. She's now resisting the handcuffs, and Kylo Ren is behind Rey, holding the lightsaber, looking to the void. Again, he still has that expressionless face. However, when Rey says, I feel the conflict in you, it is tearing you apart, the camera focuses on his facial expression and you can see he is visibly distraught. He is desperately trying to avoid her gaze. He is shaking. Then when she calls him Ben, there is an immediate reaction. He is reminded of who he was before turning to the dark side. He turns to her and stares. She approaches him and he feels a sudden alarm. He is not startled, but his body reacts to her movement. She continues, You will not bow before Snoke. You will turn. I'll help you. I saw it. Now, what she means here is that he will join the resistance. She whispers all this, indicating the possibility of a romantic relationship, intimacy after he turns. She will be there for him. So he says, I saw something too. Because of what I saw, when the moment comes, you will be the one to turn. You'll stand with me. Rey, I saw who your parents are. Kylo is already expecting when the moment is. He knows what's coming. He knows he will be the one making it happen. When he says, because of what he saw, which is her parents, I know you'll be the one to turn. Therefore, knowing the truth will make Rey turn to him. And if she turns, he will not turn. If she does not turn, he will turn. He's not going to reveal the truth. He will use it to manipulate her later. And again, manipulation is something that Rey also used. Come on, she's wearing makeup as she approached him in the elevator scene trying to persuade him not to bring her to Snoke and leave together. Then she distances herself from him as if she were distancing herself from the truth. The conversation is a reflection of what will happen next. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next Friday with the last chapter of Reylo in The Last Jedi.